Hello, friends. Today we continue with Merchant of Venice, and the last day we had done till line number 132. Portia comes in and gives the excuse that she has been straying through churches and monasteries praying for their husband's health, which she hopes becomes better with speed. We hope becomes better for our words, for their prayers. So she gives this excuse that she had been going or traveling through churches and monasteries praying for the health of their husbands, and she hopes the health keeps better or grows better because of her words. Her words over here refers to her prayers. She also requests Lorenzo and Jessica to take no note of her and Nerissa's being absent, and thereafter she receives an assurance from Lorenzo that they are not telltales. So that's what Lorenzo says: your husband is at hand, I hear his trumpet. We are not telltales, madam, fear not. So we continue from here, which is line number 135, where Portia goes on to describe the night. She says, "This night methinks is but the daylight sick, where the daylight is absent, where the sun is hidden." So the night is just like the day, but in absence of the sun, in absence of the daylight. She says it looks a little paler. It is a day, such a day, when the sun is hid, when the sun is covered by the cloud. So this is a possible question. How does Portia describe night as she enters the scene at this present point? She says that the night is but the daylight sick. Daylight sick. There is absence of the sun. It is just a day when the sun is hid, when the sun is covered. And enter Bassanio. And please mark Bassanio's comments over here, how indirectly he tries to flatter Portia. And Bassanio says we should hold day with the antipodes. Antipodes, the opposite side. It was believed that if the other side was having day, the antipodes would have night. I repeat, antipodes, the other side. So perhaps it was a conception during those days that there are two sides. One is called the antipodes, the other side. So if the one side is having day, the antipodes or the other side would have night. And according to Bassanio, even the antipodes would have night. Even when we are having, I'm so sorry, even the antipodes would have day, even if we are having day. If Portia would walk in the absence of the sun. Look at the comparison, look at the metaphor. Portia has been compared to the sun. We should hold day with the antipodes, with the opposite sides, if you would walk in the absence of the sun. So that is how he tries to flatter Portia by comparing Portia to the sun and saying that the antipodes would have day along with the other side if Portia were to walk even in the absence of the sun. And Portia says, let me give light. So let me give light. Let me throw radiate light, but let me not be light. Let me not be light. Light in character, where the character is questionable. So let me not be light. Let me not be light in character. Why? Because a light wife makes a heavy husband. A light wife, a wife with a questionable character, makes a heavy husband, a sad husband. And Portia says, and never be Bassanio so for me, and never be Bassanio sad for me being a light charactered wife, a questionable charactered wife. But God sought all, you're welcome home, my lord. And Bassanio says, I thank you, madam, give welcome to my friend. This is the man. Look at the stress over there. This is the man. This is Antonio. The reputation and the stress. The reputation in literature is always a reason for putting stress. And why the stress on Antonio? And this is the man, this is Antonio, because of the infinite help that Antonio has given to Bassanio for him to come up to Belmont and marry Portia. We all know that. To whom I am so infinitely bound, grateful. And Portia says you should, in all sense. Why? Because he was much bound to him. He was much bound. Over here, bound can have two meanings. Bound could mean that he was bound in chains, so he was in jail, bound in chains. Bound could also mean that he was under an obligation with the Jew. Bound over here could also have the meaning that he was, as I said, was in jail, bound by a chain, or it could mean the terms that he had with Shylock, if I may say so, the agreement that he had with Shylock. And Antonio says, no more, no more. Then I am well acquitted, released of it, released of all my problems. And Portia says, sir, you are very welcome to our house. And it must appear in other ways. So the welcome must appear in other ways, in action, rather than in words. And therefore she says, I restrict these breathing courtesy, these polite words. And Greshenio says, by yonder moon. So here we begin with the ring episode. So this is the start of perhaps the last of the funny episodes of which this play is made, consists of. We know that the play consists of many episodes. One of them is the ring episode, and here we see the start of the ring episode, where Nerissa accuses Gratiano of giving away the ring to a woman. So Gratiano says, by yonder moon, I swear you do me wrong. In faith, I gave it to the judge's clerk. Would he were dead, wish he were dead, that had it for my part. Since you take it, love, so much to heart. Since you take it, since you take this action. What action? Giving away the ring to the judge's clerk. And Portia says, a quarrel who already? What's the matter? And Gratianus is about a hoop of gold. So very important for questions from here. A hoop of gold, a small amount of gold. A paltry, a petty ring that she did give me, whose posy, whose inscription, every ring, especially a wedding ring, has an inscription that is known as a posy. So according to Gratiano, the posy of the ring, what was written underneath or inscribed on the ring, was no better than a cutler's poetry. And what was written, what was inscribed, what was the posy of the ring? Love me and leave me not. And Nerissa justifiably saying, what talk you about the posy? Or what talk you about the value? You swore to me when I did give it you that you would wear it till your hour of death. So the question is not of the posy. The question is not of the value. The question is of your integrity. The question is about your oath. Why? Because when she gave it to Gratiano, Gratiano had sworn that he would wear it until his death. And that it should lie with you in your grave, though not for me, yet for your vehement oath, your solemn promises, you should have been respective, and have kept it. Gave it to a judge's clerk. She says, oh God, be my judge. The clerk will never wear hair on face that had it. So what is the insinuation? The clerk will never wear hair. What is the insinuation? The insinuation over here is that it was not a boy at all, but the clerk was a girl or a lady. Thank you so much. It's a short class, so I'm taking a short lesson today. Please take care, stay at home, and be good. Thank you so much.